want to be fair because I was very critical of him on the get-up yesterday, and I had to think about this. Go back and look at Ben Simmons' game, the Philadelphia 76ers game without Joel Embiid. He was on the tear. Matter of fact, he dropped 40 on Rudy Gobert down there in Utah, the defensive player of the year, doing what he do best, attacking downhill. So when I'm looking at Ben Simmons, I feel like his confidence was lost throughout the course of the season because they were running so much through Joel Embiid, and he was standing around so much, not diving and getting the touches, getting the feel for the basketball, being able to shoot his hooks, not being able to get those post touches at a consistent basis, and it's transpired into the postseason. So when you ask him to start delivering in the postseason, now all of a sudden his confidence is gone. It's shot because the offense, 70% of the offense is ran through Joel Embiid. So with that being said, they got to ship him off somewhere, probably to Minnesota, where he'll fit in with Karl-Anthony Towns, who love to float around the three-point line and let Ben Simmons dominate the paint area.
Well, see, I think the thing that's important to deduce from what you're saying, KP, is that, like me and Max, you're not saying the brother can't be a star in this league. You're not saying that he can't play in this league at a very high level. You're just saying Philadelphia is no longer the place. And why are we saying that? We're saying that for two reasons. Number one, we're saying it because we know Joel Embiid ain't going nowhere for the foreseeable future. You know, it ain't like you're going to sit Joel Embiid on a bench for him. That's number one. Number two, and more importantly, I will be consistent with what I said, just like you brought up what you said at the very beginning. Before a game was played this year, I was on the record. Philadelphia ain't winning a championship when your primary ball handler can't shoot the basketball. Ben Simmons has to be able to shoot the basketball in order for the Philadelphia 76ers to shine to the level that we want, because he's too gifted in every other area not to be on the floor. You have to have him on the floor because he's gifted in every other way. But offensively, against the better teams in the postseason, offensively, the Philadelphia 76ers are playing 4 against 5 because he's not a threat from the perimeter, and that compromises what you need done come postseason time. That's why I ain't say take money out of his pocket. I didn't say he doesn't deserve his money. I'm saying in Philadelphia, he's not that player. He has to go somewhere else. It can't be here.
Well, that's why Brett Brown put him in the dunker spot in the playoffs. He was unplayable at the point guard position, to your point, KP, but the only thing is that given his speed and his handles, he's not going to be Sabonis or whoever you want to compare him to. Like, the temptation to play him at the point, he has elite speed at 6'10". Who's ever had better handles at the height of 6'10"? He's dynamic. He can get to the basket. He can finish at the basket, you know, when he's not scared to go to the free throw line. His court vision is A+. His passing is A+. It's too tempting to have him run the team. And since we've seen him hit jump shots in the past in Summer League, that means what's happening is not that he's capable of doing it. He refuses to do it. But the point is, Perk, what's the real difference between the ears? He's not. The bigger the stage, the more scared he is.
Max, Big Perk. Big Perk and Max, I just received a text. You know how Max, I get my text messages during the show. Y'all know that. I just received a text from somebody very, very close to the situation in Philadelphia about Ben Simmons. This is a quote. This is not me. This is them. Quote, he doesn't work. He doesn't listen, and everyone around him is family, and he's constantly babied.
Yeah, that's
the word
that's credible, isn't
about
it?
Ben Simmons.
That's credible. Let me just say this, guys. This is why I said, Perk, the Lakers would be the place for him. I think Magic is right. It needs to come from a veteran player, that kind of mentorship. Someone like LeBron James could do it. It has to have someone with real gravitas, who has a game similar to his, to take him under his wing and say, this is how it's done.
Please.
Max,
he's represented by Clutch Sports. That's close enough to LeBron James. They talked.
Max.
Yes.
And Max, Danny Green is on that team, right? He's a 3-time champion. You know how to rub off on him for his hard work. Dwight Howard is over there. He's a champion, a future Hall of Famer. That's hard work. But look, to your point, Max, and this is why I want you to graduate and grow with me, okay? This is why I want you to actually start. Listen, this is why I actually want you to actually start watching the game, except when there's national televised throughout the course of the season, and actually turn on the league pass. Because if you watch the Indiana Pacers, you will watch Sabonis grab a rebound and push the ball up the floor and initiate the offense. That don't mean that he's the point guard. All I'm saying is he's a dual forward. He's a forward, a power forward that can handle the rock and initiate dribble handoffs. And what I'm saying is my whole point to you, Max, was him and Embiid just don't fit. They don't fit.
That.
I wanted to see it happen. But it's just not going to happen. They don't fit. They need their own team. They need their own space. He's a third option guy, and he would fit well with Karl-Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards in Minnesota.
All right.
Not enough shooting maybe with Edwards and Simmons, but yeah, I like it.
Hey, Molly.
Yeah.
Molly. Max talks so damn much, he doesn't even listen enough to give his own self credit. Long before me or Kendrick Perkins ever said anything, over a year ago, you can roll up the tape, Max said Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons don't fit. He would trade one of them. So Max Kellerman was one of the first people to bring that up. But he talks so damn much, he forgets what he says and didn't even remember to give his own self credit for that.
That's nice.
He actually said that over a year ago. Max beat me to that.
I rely on you for that.
Max beat me to that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.